Hello everyone, welcome back to Rob's Gaming Table. I'm Rob.
I'm Mel.
And we're here to play SkyTeam. As it's listed on BGG, but it has a subtitle. I don't know if that's official. This is called SkyTeam Prepare for Landing according to the box. But on the publisher's website, it's just listed as SkyTeam. And on BGG, it's just SkyTeam. So I don't know if you're watching this 3 years from now, if you're going to be, there's like 6 different versions of SkyTeam. I don't know, but we're playing the first one. Not muted, progress. I know. I've helped today.
Oh.
Mel double checked that I was plugged in. No, I'm just
Were you
kidding.
muted before?
Yeah, it's like,
Oh, whoops.
yeah, every like 2 solo streams I do, I get all excited. I go, oh, one last thing to check. I unplug, I go check it, I sit back down, and then I start, but I forget to plug my mic back in. So I do like a little, 1 minute intro muted until
And then they're all yelling until you look at the stream?
So it's delayed, so of course it goes on longer than it should, and then I'm like, all I see is muted, no sound, and I'm like...
The other thing is when we're playing together, usually I can catch it if you're talking, because you don't always read the chat when you're talking, so that you can get all your thoughts out of your head.
Exactly. So if you're watching the stream, that doesn't matter to you. That was from a stream earlier today, not related. Hello, welcome to the channel. We do this live if it wasn't already apparent. Full disclosure, this game was not provided by the publisher. We're not being paid to play this. We bought this game ourselves with money from these suckers. I mean, these people who supported the channel. And I promise we spend your money as best we can on going to conventions, upgrading equipment, buying games, and for me to be able to do this full time and Mel to join me and forced to paint my miniatures and stuff. But anyways, yes, thank you for supporting us. We get the funding from these folks, these super kind folks. Thank you for supporting the channel. So we don't have to take money from publishers to play games.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. If you'd like to donate to the channel, links are down below, or you can click the join button. Or super chat and all that kind of stuff. Thank you everyone that supports the channel, much appreciated. Just want to get that out of the way. This is not a review copy. This is not an early copy from the publisher like sometimes we get. So yeah, we just bought this. We actually ran for this on Sunday of Gen Con. This game, released early at Gen Con, became the second hottest game of Gen Con 2023, if you didn't know. Gen Con is the largest tabletop gaming convention in North America. We go to it every year, most years. This year, this game was there. We said we were interested in it at our pre-Gen Con live stream, said it looks cool. We play 2-player on stream quite a bit. And it's a 2-player only game where like you're not really allowed to talk during the meat and potatoes of the game, like when you're actually making actions and selection. So I'm like, that kind of game probably doesn't work for stream. Or does it work on stream? And would it be funny to watch us not say anything to each other as you're trying to read like body language, dice placement actions? I don't know, it's weird, but it's one of those games. But I saw it and I go, it's a cute game. It's $30 US at Gen Con. It's going to be one of the ones that's there a little early. They flew over some copies. Mel and I just put it on a list and we said, we're interested. I didn't care if we didn't get it or not. You can always buy it later. This will be on store shelves in a couple months. There'll be tons of them. It's fine. But when we were there, I was able to grab a bunch of things off my list. But there was like, all of a sudden I saw a lineup on like, I think day 2, this big line going across the back of the exhibit hall. And I went, what the hell is that line for? So I followed the line and I thought maybe to lead to Kingdom Death Monsters booth. No, that booth was a ghost town. Nobody wanted to go to that booth, FYI. At least maybe the first day they went there, got their promos. But after that, that booth was a ghost town. I thought it went to that booth. No, I followed the line. Where did it go? It went to Hatchet's booth or Scorpion Mass booth or whoever the heck it is, the Hatchet Games that sells it. And they had a huge lineup, which is crazy because you could pre-order the game if you were in the US. You could pre-order the game on their website, pick it up at Gen Con in a separate room, avoid all the rush. But what had happened was, I guess a lot of people put it on their list as like, the middle of the pack or like lower on their list as like something they should grab. But everyone kind of mentioned it. But what happened was a bunch of people tried it out the first day and supposedly word of mouth went crazy on it. People were playing it everywhere who got limited copies. They had limited copies every day. And I went up and asked, I said, I couldn't pre-order this game. Can I just buy it? And they go, no, you have to go to the booth, but we only have so many copies a day. And then I went and the lineup was so huge. Every day it got bigger and bigger because the word of mouth kept spreading. And the last day on Sunday, I went and talked to the guy from the company who I talked to earlier, said, all right, I'm here. I'm early on Sunday. I have no real reason to be here other than just hanging out, playing games, whatever. But we're going to the dealer hall. How many copies of this game do you have left? And is it even possible to get it? The guy said, we got 100 left on the last day. I was like, oh God. I was like, Mel, we used to run for games. I mean, walk fast.
Yep.
For exclusive games. We're pretty crazy with that stuff. We can usually get what we want. I asked for a press coffee. The guy is like, our marketing person quit. I've only been here 2 weeks. I can't help you. I'm sorry. I'm like, thanks, bro. But suppose he was in charge of what was going on there. So I don't know who this guy was, but anyways. But yeah, so we just said, all right, let's kill it. Let's run for it. Let's go. Let's get close to the front of the entrance. Let's pick an entrance. Let's look at the map. We made a plan of attack and we were like, we're getting this damn game. And yeah, we were like 10th in line. Boom, we got one. No problem. But that lineup, like,
oh yeah,
people were rushing the booth. It got super big. They cut off people in the line who wanted this game. But we got one of the last copies at the con, so we feel kind of cool. But yeah, so basically, we played it last night. We opened the game. I said, Mel got home from work. I was like, I don't know, do you want to play this game? Like, let's learn it. So we cracked it open. The rule book is like, compared to some of the games we normally play on the channel, like if you're new here, we play like weekly Frosthaven sessions and, you know, played like Sword and Sorcery, Tainted Grail. We play games that are like 3.5, 4.5, whatever complexity on the channel, with like 30 to 60 page rule books, whatever is normal, 72 page FAQs. You know, these are the kind of games that I really like diving into most days. Every now and then it's nice to get into a game that's a little on the lighter side. So this game has a very nice lighter rule set to start, to dip your toes in the water, to play an intro scenario, which we're going to play for you today, just the intro scenario. But there is many scenarios, 21 scenarios in a separate scenario book that you do not touch until you've beaten the first tutorial scenario. And there's many modules, and stick around to the end of the stream. We'll take a peek at some of them. We're not going to play them today because we haven't played them ourselves. They're still locked away. But I was shocked this $30 little game has this clever, short, little 2-player, fun situation. We played it. We were like, read the rules. We're like, okay, this seems pretty straightforward. We played it. And then we're like, as we're playing it, you could tell. It was like, I see why this game caught on. I see why this is the second hottest game from Gen Con. Disney Lorcana, by the way, was the first, if you're curious. But yeah, this had big lines. People were trying to kill each other for this game. And I see why. It's definitely would hit a wider audience. But again, it's 2-player only. Not solo. Not 3-player, not 4-player. Co-op.
Co-op, yeah.
You can't talk to each other most of the game, which is
But
weird.
I like that idea
but it's
in
fun.
this game.
It's
it works.
It's a very clever game. We both looked at each other and I was like, do you want to just stream this tomorrow? Like, let's just play it tomorrow. Let's just play the intro. We'll show it off, show the game, and then we'll go back to the drawing board, figure out the expansion stuff in it, the full game. Like, this is just a taste, but it's still cool. And we were like, man, this is freaking clever. So yeah, it's pretty fun. Maybe there's lots of games like this. I don't play games like this usually, but yeah, it's pretty fun, pretty clever. So we're gonna show that to you today. Then we'll take a peek at some of the additional content because we're only scratching the surface today. And then maybe if you guys are interested, you know, this gets enough views and likes and all that jazz on the channel and stuff, and you guys are interested in seeing more of this, I'm fully down. I'm pretty sure Mel is, to learn a different scenario, and they increase in difficulty. They add different modules. And yeah, maybe we can play one of them on stream in the future, or a couple. I don't know.
Oh yeah, I would definitely be down. If you guys want to see it, you hit that like button, let us know that you want to see it, leave comments, all of that, and let us know. I would definitely play this again.
Yeah. So we're kind of excited. This one's like, again, it's Rob's gaming table. I play what I want here. I kind of go with the flow. If something sparks my interest, or I get bored of something or whatever, I just stop playing it, or I play whatever I want. It's all good. And this one was just kind of like, I don't know. I kind of was like, cool, we got it. And then I was like, we'll see, we'll play it whenever. But man, I just on a whim, I'm like, man, we can learn this and play this tonight. And we just did. And I was like, wow, okay, this is cool.
It's one of these games for me, at least, where I played with you last night and I was like, oh, I see. Okay, now I want to get into more of the deeper stuff.
And now you know why it's like basically one of the games of the convention that people are playing everywhere, and everyone was, word of mouth was happening. People all wanted to grab it.
Yeah.
Supposedly coming out in like October. They told us it was an Essen release, and that happens in the fall. But supposedly it's coming to North American retail sometime in October, so like 2 months from now. Just FYI if you're looking for it. But yeah.
Are we saying if we won or lost our first game?
It was just a learning game.
Yeah.
It was just a learning game. Whether we won or lost, who knows if we even played it right. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't even matter.
This is the one that counts, right?
Yeah, the one on stream where we fully mess up. This is the one that counts. Where our dice luck goes so bad. Of course, as soon as you turn on the cameras and the lights, man, anything that can go wrong in a game goes wrong.
It was co-op, so if Rob lost, we both lost.
So
but if
Rob lost? David, what are you talking about? How do you lose in a 2-player co-op game? Just one person. Oh, I get it. We lost. Lost, like the plane.
Oh, lost.
On an island? No, we
yeah,
didn't.
We're gonna leave it up to you to figure out.
Let's tell them. We freaking crushed it.
Yeah, we crushed it.
Now, hopefully we played it right and we crushed it today. We'll show you. But either way, you just need to get the idea of what's happening here, whether we win or lose. We just want to show you like the cleverness of the basics of the game, and then show you like where it kind of expands to. And so we can only give our thoughts basically on one playthrough, 2 today. So we'll kind of leave the thoughts like whatever, but we already kind of spoiled, I guess. We're kind of excited about the game. It's kind of fun for what it is. $30 US, by the way. Keep that in mind. Like the components aren't mind-blowing or anything, but the amount of content in here and the amount of plays you can have with trying each scenario or trying out different content, trying to work your way up to be a better pilot and co-pilot, $30 US, just FYI. All right, here we go.
Billy, did you change your icon? Looks different.
Billy is Batman.
Billy's
from Batman the Animated Series.
Ah,
I
feel like it's different.
I think that's what it is. Billy Spencer, hello. Could you play solo two-handed? No.
No.
Go watch my stream from earlier today. If you want a solo-only game, I played 20 Strong from Chip Theory Games, an awesome, short-ish, which of course I stretched out because I got super deep into it. But if you're looking for something quick, small table space, easy to learn, hard to master, check out 20 Strong from Chip Theory Games, also coming later this year. You can pre-order it, yada yada. Not being paid, not sponsored. I just played it today and had a blast. But I streamed that earlier. So that game was for the solo people. Don't be greedy. Don't be greedy. Too many games have solo modes now. You're lucky that happened thanks to the COVID, truly, that boosted the solo in our gaming industry. Solo modes and everything now. Don't get greedy when a game doesn't have a solo mode. Go play something else. It's like the people that come in and are like telling me that I have to play like two-handed and stuff in games. It's like, get out of here. Or telling me, what is the other thing? Oh, no digital apps in my board games, please.
Yeah.
And trying to hate on any game we play with a digital element added in. It's like, shut up, man. 99% of the games in our hobby don't have board game apps added in or required. So allow us who like those to play them and go play the 99% other games that are made for you. Okay?
I think Ninja was just asking more of a question of like, is it possible? Not like,
unless
he's not yelling at you. Don't worry.
Listen, unless you are Two-Face from Batman. Yeah, see ya.
Batman. You brought it back.
And you have the split personality. No, you can't.
No, the magic of this game is the fact that there is two people.
Yes.
Like the balance from the two people is definitely needed in this game.
Yes, it's one of those games like, you know, in like a two-player game that you make into a solo game and then you kind of hurt the difficulty, like in Gloomhaven they tell you, or Mansion of Madness or whatever, you're supposed to play with minimum 2 characters, but it always makes it easier because you don't have that like other player messing with things and you have full control. So usually they're supposed to up the difficulty in those games to make up for that. In this game, you probably could play one of the harder scenarios, I would assume. And yes, it'd be challenging even with full information, full cooperation, assuming you're not split personality and fighting with yourself. Or you have like a goldfish memory that you can't remember, like what you just saw behind one hidden dice screen and then what behind the other. Or you left the table and walked away and like, you know, came back the next day to make every single decision. So you totally forgot what happened. That's not possible. But you could probably do it like that. But this is a game that is made on purpose for 2 people to have fun. Okay. Just 2 players, not 3, not 1, not 4, not more. There will be no 6-player expansion add-on, I'm sure. Maybe there will be.
I mean, maybe there's stewardesses.
4-player, yeah, 4-player stewardess and
you got to like take care of the passengers in the back.
All right, I just made an idea for them. Don't steal my expansion.
Yeah, they now have an expansion in the
Damn
works.
it. You know?
No, Ninja, you're fine. You're fine. You're fine.
I'm only joking. I'm only messing with you. But get out of here.
But Joseph does say, I saw a solo variant of the game where you just roll blue dice, place them, and then roll all the red oranges and then place them.
Okay, that's
doesn't
possible.
work, but
that's possible.
Yeah.
Because then you don't have full information on what's happening on the other side.
But you still do have the information of
but the problem
what was placed on all 4 sides.
Yes.
Where in this game, you're going one after another. So you don't know all the information at the beginning. Yeah.
It is not. Yes, it's Sky Team, not Sky Captain only. All right, get out of here. No, I'm just kidding. There's probably ways you can rig this into a solo game. I just don't think it would be as interesting
or as fun.
And the part, yes, and I don't know if it's fun, but it's definitely interesting. No, I'm just kidding. One of the things with this game though is I rolled my eyes when I was like, wait. On the box cover, you have a pilot and a co-pilot. They're both wearing headsets. They're both trying to work together to land a plane. At first, I thought it must be air control tower talking to pilots, and now they lost communication. That's what I originally thought when I read about the whole not talking to each other. I went, I get it. That's clever. But then when I saw the box and then saw the game, I was like, oh, you're pilot and co-pilot sitting beside each other in an airplane, both wearing headsets, even on the box, and somehow you can't speak when you're working the controls together. Seems silly. And I didn't even explain that all of a sudden communications went out and your mouth was duct taped shut or anything like that. Like, I don't know why. The mechanics, it seems like one thing was slapped on after the other. And I don't know. Yeah, you're too busy,
to talk. Yeah, I guess.
No.
You're panicked.
Yeah.
You're just doing things in panic.
No, this is chill, just landing a plane. At least in this one.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just trying to make excuses. Sure. I don't know.
But I thought it was weird, and I was like, that's kind of dumb. But then I played it, and I shut up. Literally, I shut up. And then
yeah, this is going to be really interesting, right? Where we can't talk for part of it.
Yes. So if you're new here, our intros are long, and unfortunately, the intro of this is probably going to be longer than the playthrough, and the teach, and the look at the components. So I should just get to it. But anyways, somehow, only having a few hundred copies out in the wild already, it's ranked 7,323. It has an 8.6 rating. So that's probably a handful of people who played it, actually really played it at Gen Con, and then the families of the designers, obviously, is the 99 ratings. The weight is only 2.0, so very low complexity, at least with the base learning module. But you can then start playing with other stuff, adding in extra stuff, and you'll see. You'll see.
I do think that we looked at this when we had our Gen Con stream where we were looking at games, and I feel like it was higher than that, like much higher, like 11,000 or something. Oh, so probably. I feel like that's a big drop for it.
The game's not even out yet.
I know.
So it shouldn't really have any ratings, but people have played it. So, I mean, I guess that's fair. All right. Here it is. Here is Sky Team. Prepare for landing. Okay. Look at 2-player co-op. Immersive. High drama. Okay, that I don't know about that one, but.
I mean, maybe in some of the later scenarios.
Really? You have drama, though? You're not allowed to speak to each other. How much drama can you have?
You can get pissed at the person that they didn't do what they were supposed to do.
I guess there's a death. There's literally you can crash the plane. It doesn't say that in here. It always just says, if you do this wrong, you lose the game. But I always read it as, if you do this, like, you're in the river, or you crash into the building, or you hit the airport, straight down into the runway. Like, yeah. This game,
they probably had to be careful about their terminology, but
yeah, warning.
We get it.
Warning. We may drive this plane into the ground, literally.
It will be on accident completely, though.
Simon, yes, we could do a barrel roll. Yes, we literally can do a barrel roll, and we will lose the game.
Yeah, we would.
Okay. Roger. All right. Surely you can't be serious. Yes, I'm not being very serious. Anyone who's new here, I'm sarcastic. I'm joking around a lot, okay? Please, but I'm honest. Usually it's more honesty, but there's always truth behind the jokes. All right. Anyways. So Sky Team, we'll open that and kind of look at the module stuff later. I don't know why I'm opening it already. So that's the board. All right, comes with 2 booklets. We got a landing procedure. This is literally to teach you landing at the Montreal Trudeau Airport, which is not far from us, sort of. A few hour drive away. So that's cool. The starting airport is Canadian, so automatically I approve this game. I don't know if I'm assuming Scorpion Masque are French designers. Are they from Quebec?
Oh.
Maybe?
Great question.
Luc Raymond? Is he from Quebec?
That's a great question. Maybe.
Because why did they pick Montreal as the starting airport? I feel like they're from Quebec.
Maybe.
Which is our neighbors to the east. All right. So you get your landing procedure book. This teaches all the base rules to playing the first scenario, how to put the game together. Yes, you have to like put little stickers in and make this little dual layer cardboard thing. It's not actually together. You have to like make it yourself.
I thought it was until he told me that yesterday.
Yeah, I'm like, no. You have to like, it comes just like open. You have to like use stickers to make it into dual layer cardboard by bending it and stuff. Which is neat. Saves them on money. Again, $30 US. It make you do some work. And you got your setup, you got your actions. But this is it. It's like, I would do it in PDF, but I couldn't find the PDF for the rules. I guess it's not out yet, but that's it. 11 pages, guys. 11 pages with tips on the back on page 12. Not a reference. Not impressed. But tips.
I don't know that you necessarily need a reference.
You don't really need a reference for this.
It's like,
yeah, most of the stuff's kind of like on here showing you what's needed without words. But
and you do have your player aid inside
that's right. That's right. This is where you roll your dice inside your little dashboard, and it hides the dice from the other player. So I am using the orange-ish dice cover here because I'm the co-pilot sitting on the right side.
I'm going to pilot this plane.
Mel is the pilot. She sits on the left side. She's blue, using blue dice, placing blue dice in blue places. I place orange dice in orange places. This is a dice placement game, if that wasn't obvious. And we're trying to land an airplane, okay? That's the goal. And then it has this flight log, which we can look at later, which comes with a bunch of scenarios, modules, and the more advanced rules. But we're not allowed to open it. Well, technically we can, but do not open before having successfully landed in Montreal. So I must shout out, I love this stuff. When they think of new players or they think of new players to the hobby or new players to the game to put in a nice tutorial that teaches you the gist of the game, sells the game, because it gives you enough to understand what's going on here, and then you can understand the possibilities, and keeps all the more advanced stuff hidden away, and literally tells you don't touch that until you've figured out this for sure, so that you don't run into that, lose horribly, and not want to play anymore. I like the way they're like kind of easing you in, and I appreciate it very much. I love when publishers and designers take the extra work to care about the new player, right? Mm-hmm. Great. All right. Let me try to explain this. So what I'm going to do is explain it as best I can. We'll do a full playthrough. It'll understand more as we play it. And then we'll kind of just talk about it at the end a little bit and show you the extra stuff. That's it. That's what we do here usually. Okay. So Sky Team. We have our kind of like plane control dashboard here. Okay. On this dashboard, actually I should probably zoom out. Up here, based on scenarios you're playing, you'll play with a different airport. This is our kind of current location. This is our current location. Sorry, coming off Gen Con Concred still, by the way. Thought it was good, but earlier today it started getting me again. So our current location is in the sky, and we will be working our way, flying, to eventually get to the airport here. Okay. And you can see the airport on there. And there are airplanes in the sky, though, and we need to get air traffic control to clear those out. Because if we move this down and we're flying at a certain speed, we'll be moving this based on our speed. Sometimes we can move slow and it doesn't advance that at all. Sometimes we can move like medium, one space at a time, or sometimes two if we're going really fast. But eventually we'll get to the airport. And if we're not also ready to land, which this is basically the round track and our current altitude of feet, we're currently at 6,000 feet. Different scenarios will have different things here, and there's another difficulty thing on the back of this. And based on different scenarios, we got different airplanes in the sky at different positions. Okay, so these little cute airplane tokens are on there, and we don't want to hit them or we instantly lose. Surprise! If you run into another airplane, you lose the game. I was shocked when I read that. So strange. All right, so if we get down to the airport, what we basically want to do is have the airport here in our current position. And at the same time, we're like, our airplane is also there. So every round, this is going to move once and go down. These are reroll tokens. Every time you get to one of these, you get the reroll token. It goes over here. We're just going to take the first one because it's on the starting spot. But these little symbols tell you where to place your reroll tokens. That allows any player can spend it. It allows any players to roll as many dice as they want one time. Okay. So those are reroll tokens. We'll get another one when we get to 2,000 feet. Okay. But this moves down every round. Okay. And this tells you also who's the starting player based on the blue, then the orange, and it kind of points to the pilot or the co-pilot. Okay. Very clever. Okay, that's why you need the dual layer cardboard too, to be able to slide those underneath. So it kind of raises it up. It's actually like triple layer cardboard, to be honest. So it's even better than my favorite component, because my favorite component in board games is not miniatures, as you know, it's not custom dice, it's not dice towers and all that stuff. It's not PVC plastic cards. It is literally 2-layer cardboard. Love that stuff. This has that, but it's triple layered because there's a spot underneath and a spot on top to place dice and stuff. So, but anyways, all right. All right. Anyways, so that's what you need to know about this. Okay. So we want this to be here and we want the airport to be here at the same time. Then we can go into our landing. And as long as we can slow our speed and hit our brakes and not overshoot the runway, we win. And there's a few other things we need to win, which I'll show you right here. All on this board here, there's many things going on here. Not as complicated as the first look. When I first looked at this, I'm like, oh my God. Then I look at the rule book, I'm like, oh, that's it? But yes, the rules are very clear, very laid out, examples, everything. Great job. So on the left side, where your left player will sit, your blue player, your pilot, with the blue dice, basically has most of the blue actions on this side. So it's a dice placement game. Where you're going to place your dice is your choice, but the value and the color of the dice matter in some situations. So for example, if you want to place a die here in this space to contact air control to remove a plane from our path, you would have to place a die here. Based on the number on the die is that many spaces away from your current position, you'll remove a plane, okay? Any die can go there, but the number matters on which space it clears a plane from, right? So you can put any die there as long as it's blue. That's the only restriction on that space, okay? Some spaces have a number, so this needs a 1 or a 2, and it must be orange. Some spaces don't care about the number, and you can put either a blue or an orange. Okay. So it just kind of look like, so most of the stuff for the co-pilot's in the orange on the right. So for example, I can tell the control tower twice to get planes the hell out of our way. But Mel, as the pilot, can only do it once. Here we have our axis that we can control by placing, I forget what this is called. It's your airplane axis is here. So our airplane axis can turn. Okay, if it turns too much, we lose. Okay, we do a barrel roll and we die. But we start with it centered, and we must have it centered at the end of the game to do a proper landing. Surprise, you can't land like this. Who knew? Unless you're landing on the side of a mountain, but it's not in this scenario, okay? All right. So we need this to be level by the end of the game. It can go like this, no problem during the game, we're fine, whatever. But we have to have it back there by the end. And we can't have it hit the red X. And how you move that around is each of us will be playing dice in here. And based on the number, when the second die gets placed, no matter who places the second die.
I guess use this as
okay. Please. I'm sorry, Mel. I may sound like I'm talking and like Mel never gets to talk, but I'm trying to just get into the play as fast as possible. But what I'm trying to do is the example here of there's 3 situations in here. If the 2 match, no matter the number, as long as they're the same, the plane stays the way it is. So if at the start of the round it was like this, and we both put this in, if I'm the one to place the second die, so I see the other player first place the first die, I can place whatever in the second die, and that keeps it where it is, okay? If I were to place a 1 instead second, as soon as I place a die, we now have to check the difference between these two and move it in the direction of the higher die. So that would be a difference of 3. I move it 3 times to the right, we dead, okay? But if it was like this, then, and it was like that, we would check the difference, and I'm the higher die, so it moves 1 in my direction. Okay, so there's this whole balance, and again, we're not talking, we're replacing these, as you'll see. There is a phase where you can talk about strategy, but you're not allowed to mention the dice, the numbers, or like, you can't say things like, oh, if you get a 6, put it here, okay? And I'll play as 2 second, okay? You can't mention the dice. All we can say are things like, wow, we really need to center this out. Let's prioritize this, or make sure you're keeping an eye on the brakes. Once you're done talking, then you roll your dice, then you place your dice 1 player at a time, starting with the start player, until you're done placing your dice and doing all your actions. As you place dice, each thing will fire off, and then you clean up your dice. And what's the other thing?
And then you would lower.
Oh yeah, you go to the next round. You lower your altitude.
And you're allowed to talk again.
Then you're allowed to talk again, discuss without mentioning the dice, the colors, the numbers. You know, it's kind of like Gloomhaven. So Isaac probably had like a say in this too. Like, you know, takes all the fun out of it. So you can't mention that kind of thing. It's a little loosey-goosey. I'm sure people will come up with wink, wink, wink equals put orange die in the second break slot.
We didn't cheat at all.
No. I mean, it's up to you. You do whatever you want. It's your cardboard. Yeah. But that's how the rules say you should handle it. So that's kind of the no talking we're talking about, is you do get to discuss all you want, but once you roll your dice, you shut up unless it's a rules issue brought up or a question or something. So that's this spot, okay? This action. Again, this action is mandatory. That's what these little caution symbols here are for. And so is this. This is your engine and like your speed or whatever. Okay? This is like your aerodynamics. So if we play a 5 here and a 5 here, we then, as soon as the second one's placed, similar to this, you then do a little math. In this case, we add them together, and then even says here, we check up here where this number is on this little smiley track here. This is like your aerodynamics or whatever. So you have this blue token to the left. You have this orange one here. The orange one is linked to the flaps on the plane, which you can see here in this diagram. There's the flaps. I control the flaps. So I will be flapping my gums. I'll be flapping all stream until I'm told not to. And then here you have the landing gear, which is the blue side, right? Mm-hmm. So this can be placed in any order. Mel can place landing gear in any order. And you see here, these little white lines tell you as soon as you place one. So if Mel places a, and why I have to describe this now before I describe this, I realize I did it kind of out of order. So Mel could place a 4, for example, here to lower part of the landing gear. She will then switch this to show that it's been lowered. As soon as she does that, she then follows the little lines to remind her she now needs to move this blue marker up 1. So now that marker is between the 5 and the 6, okay? If I do a landing gear, now I have to do the landing gear, or the flaps, sorry, in order, as they show with the arrows here. So I have to do this first one first, where I can place a 1 or a 2, and it has to be orange, obviously. I would then do the same thing with the switch. And again, to win the game, another win condition is to have all the landing gear down. So all these have to be green, and all the flaps have to be up or whatever, or down or whatever it is. And they all have to be green. Okay. So when I flip this, it tells me also, oh, I need to move the orange little marker here on this track up. Okay. They have a little spot for where they started. So now this is between the 9 and the 10. Okay. So now back to this little action. So if I place this die here, now we do the math, it's a 9. We look where the 9 is on the track. If it's between the blue and the orange, we move 1 space on this little thing here. 1 space advances. Okay. If the die is below where the blue token is, we don't move at all. And how you, obviously, by putting out your flaps and putting down your landing gear, that's going to affect the aerodynamics of the plane and slow us down, right? And make it easier to hit under the number. So every time you open this, it eventually keeps moving the blue and eventually moving the orange. And then it's obviously harder to go really fast because all your landing gear's out, all your flaps are flipped or whatever. So yeah, so very clever. So if it was, I don't know, if I put a 1 here and now it's a 5, I'm below the blue, so we don't move at all, like I said. If it's between the 2, we move 1. And if it's above the orange, we move 2 spaces, okay? And again, these are mandatory. If by the end of the round, if there's not a die here, 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 and here with these little caution symbols, we lose. So you're forced to mess with the axis of the plane and the speed of the plane. You have to mess with it. If you don't mess with it, you lose, okay? Next, the brakes. Them's the brakes. All right, down here, only the pilot can mess with the brakes. The pilot doesn't have to even touch the brakes, kind of. Has to touch the brakes at least once, okay? Unlike the flaps and landing gear, you don't have to put the brakes fully on. But as you put the brakes in, and they are in order, so you have to put a 2 blue before you put a 4 blue, before you put a 6 blue, and they will turn on too. But they don't need to all be on. But at least one of them has to be on, so you don't overshoot the runway. Because in the final round, as long as the 2 dice you place here, the speed works different in the final round. So if we finally, at the airport, we're ready to land, and we're on the runway, if our dice can go below our brakes, we officially didn't overshoot the runway, and we didn't fail. And then we have to check all our landing gear, all of our flaps. We have to make sure the plane's level. And that's it, I think.
And then we're at the airport, yeah.
And then we're at the airport, yeah. So that's all that stuff. Then at the very bottom here is this whole little, like these coffee things, right? This is the concentration track. Anytime you have like a spare die or you want to just build up some coffee tokens, we have some coffee tokens here. They're about concentrating, and they allow you to manipulate dice up or down by 1. And you can spend up to 3 of them to go up 3, down 3, whatever you want. Anyone can use them, but once they're used, they're gone. We start with 0. So you have to place a die to create one, and you just put them in the board. And then at any point, anyone can spend them to modify a die result when placing it. And again, when you place 1 die, you can spend all 3 coffee tokens and increase the die by 3 or down 3 or whatever. But yeah, we got to manage the coffee. We have no coffee. We just hope our dice luck is there. But this is like your dice mitigation right here. Okay. Your dice luck mitigation, whatever it's called. Okay, let's reset this stuff back to the starting. I think I explained all the parts on here. I'm pretty sure. But again, it's only my 2nd time playing is today, so.
Do you want to explain how the reroll token works?
I already explained that. at the start. You put them here,
yeah,
and you can spend them. Anyone can spend them. And when you spend them, anyone can roll any of the dice behind their screen that are left. So you can choose none, you can choose all of them, whatever you want, and you can only roll once. And anyone can spend it. And it's while we're not talking. So Mel could just be like looking behind her screen like, oh, this really sucks. And I could have placed a die, and then she could just go, I'm going to spend one. And she re-rolls all 4 of her dice. I'm looking at 3 dice. I might not want to spend it at all. Who knows?
The other thing, too, with the coffee tokens is Rob could put a die here and grab a coffee because he knows he needs to spend that coffee on a future die, but he can't tell me that, and I could take that coffee and use it. So it doesn't matter who placed the die there. That coffee is available to both of us.
But what I was doing was thinking like, oh, man, I'm going to place this die here, and if I place the wrong die, we're in trouble. So I'm going to make some coffee first so that when I place my die, you have something to modify your die, you know, to hopefully get within what we need to get in the right range.
Yeah.
Very clever. You'll see. So we have these screens. Like I said, we're going to roll our dice behind here. Your opponent's not supposed to see your dice. And then we make our decision silently and place our dice one at a time. Any questions before we start?
Now that we are on stream, I am a little bit nervous.
Oh, Mel, we're just showing how the game works. We're not showing how to beat it, okay?
I know.
We're showing you this clever game, and if we don't beat it, that's great. You don't show you the winning strategies. It's dice luck, obviously. And it's also like you're hoping your partner knows why you're placing that die there, and you're hoping like because you place that die there, you're letting them know we might be in trouble or focus on this or whatever.
And yeah, like you said, it's dice luck. If your partner doesn't have the correct die, there's nothing they can do.
Oh, there's stuff.
I mean, if there's no mitigation at the moment.
Yep.
But yeah, we'll see.
So yeah. But we have 4 dice to choose from, so you can't be that bad off at the start. We'll see. But we just don't, we got to not run into some planes, keep the plane fairly level, control our speed. We don't want to get to the airport before we're ready to land. That could be trouble.
Oh.
You need to put the seatbelt light on. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone, please turn off your cell phones. We're about to take off, okay?
Edward says, I just want to tell you both good luck. We're all counting on you.
Oh, God.
Uh-oh.
Oh, God. People's lives are on the line. All right. So, yeah. So, what we'll do, so strategy here in the first round, we can discuss openly. We can't talk about what dice and numbers we need. But we obviously need to start getting rid of some airplanes. We have a couple rounds before we have to worry about the first one. If we roll a 3 right away, you know, for example, I'm talking about the dice right now, but I'm also still teaching. So if I put a 3, for example, I can remove that. But if we move the plane first, you know, fly a little bit, maybe we only need like a 2 to get that airplane, or the 3 can get these airplanes. So there's a very clever like order of operations, which can totally change, you know, what numbers are needed and what dice might be important each round, which is very clever. All right, so.
Oh, Melissa, just imagine your community, is riding in this plane, no pressure.
Like when I play Final Girl and we were like naming community members for each hostage negotiator, and we were naming everyone in the chat had like a meeple, and I had to save them all. But there were people that died, and I'm sorry for that.
We're gonna hope that doesn't happen here. We're gonna do our best.
Everyone, please get in crash position. Yes, not yet. Soon though, probably.
Yeah, you'll know.
Yes. All right.
Are you ready?
No, but sure. All right, I'm gonna cover like this because I don't want to see your dice, and they do bounce out sometimes. Slide them like right to the end.
Okay.
So I don't think, you can't see my dice. Okay, perfect.
Okay. Oh goodness, I'm first.
Yes.
Okay, I feel like that was a good round.
That was it.
So, that was it. How awkward was that for the chat?
So one thing, This is why I was like, I don't know if this game is good for streaming, but it could be funny.
I think it's
silence.
funny.
Yeah. We got to sell it. Like, you know, high five each other when you like play the right die. Like,
yeah, when you put a 4 there, I was like, oh, thank God. Look at my die. I had 3 1s.
Like we were playing last night, you could see like, as I place a die, you could see Mel do like, yes. And I was like, oh my God. Like she played the right die. Oh my God. Like, yeah, I can see the high drama is really there.
Yeah,
it's fun.
Especially I can see in some of these later missions.
Yeah. You get in the mindset of like we're actually flying a plane and chat's pressuring
Serious
us, like their lives are on the line. We get serious here, okay? Yep. We get serious. Yep. All right. So when you played a low die here, I was like, okay, you want to not move at all, which I could have done, but then I was like, I can get us to move 1, so then we can start hitting planes with some of the dice I had. I guess I could have played like my 4 or something. I know I shouldn't be talking about the dice numbers out loud.
No, but now you can.
No, you're not supposed to, but I kind of just want the chat to understand, like, I like when I play a game on stream and I explain my decisions and why I'm thinking things and playing along, so I can't get out of that mode.
Yeah.
So I'll just try to talk about it, just explain here. I maybe won't do it every time. But the clever part is, like, I'm looking at all my dice. See, I had like a 4, 4, 1, and 2, right? So it's like I could have played a 4, you know, to hit planes like further away, would have been fine, which probably is the right play to do. Maybe I put my flaps out too early. I was thinking that, but I'm like, well, I have a 1 and it's only a 1 or 2 works. I might as well take advantage now. It makes it easier to slow the plane down later, maybe, but it's now makes it harder to go 2.
Yeah, but sometimes going 1 is enough.
Yeah, but if you keep stalling, then eventually you need the speed to catch up.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that was the right play. Again, second play, I don't know, but these are the things that are going through your mind when you're playing. Just let you guys know, it's not like obvious place this, obvious place that. That's the fun part of, like, it's not all under your control, which is why, again, I was joking before about the get out of here solo players. It's like, you need that in the game or else it just is boring. Okay.
Yeah.
Like if you know, like, oh yeah, obviously put this there, put this there, put this there, and you see all the dice numbers, it's too easy.
Yeah, when I rolled 3 1s, I was like, oh my gosh, what a bad.
I debated plopping a 1 here earlier because I was like,
yeah,
if you have a low die, but if you don't, so I thought I want to put something more in the middle. So if you need to use coffee, maybe to get closer and we at least can stay within 2, we're fine. Mm-hmm. But now knowing you had super low dice, that was probably a bad play.
No, that was fine. That's why I saved my 4 because I wasn't sure.
Very clever. Yeah, the order of placing things is like, there's a lot of communication there that's like not verbal.
But here I knew if I put a low die and we only moved 1 or didn't move, it's not the worst case scenario.
Yeah, true.
So.
All right. We basically moved this 1 because we're getting lower now. We're lowering, and we moved a little closer because we went 1 space. So we're staying kind of level. That's good. We take our dice back.
And we can strategize here about what we think we need to do.
Okay, and how do the other planes clear the runway? We need to let air traffic control to remove them by putting a die of the color the co-pilot can do it twice, pilot can do it once, and the number on the die is you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6 away based on the pip of the die, and you clear 1 plane away.
Yeah, so Robin in the last round was able to clear 1 plane from the runway, this one here.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think that's good. We need to keep clearing planes. Obviously, there's a lot of planes there. I think if we can maintain this, that obviously is ideal.
Well, we don't need to maintain it, but at least keep it like reasonable.
Yeah. Do you want to try to go 1 or 2 on here, or you just see what happens, I guess?
I don't want us to go fast.
No fast. Okay, so we try to go.
We just hope to use higher dice to clear things before they get close, right?
Okay.
And then when we need to, we use low dice. Again, I'm not supposed to be saying this stuff. These are the kind of things you probably shouldn't be saying out loud. But what I should be saying is, well, we can call them way in advance to start clearing some that are really far, but we could also just wait till a few are closer and use quicker calls to let them know to clear planes. Get out of the way. We can use the horn on the plane, right, to clear them?
Yep.
Meep, get out of the way.
And then Rob's going to start this round as well.
Oh, yeah, because now the orange arrow is pointing my direction. Alrighty. So we move, we're lowering one more. So again, 7 rounds total. All right. And then we collect our dice back. Yeah, when you move this, I was like, oh, like I had a 3 I was gonna hit there, but I was like, I need you to see what I'm doing here first. So like, yeah, I played low because I was like, maybe like she'll get the hint that like we're trying not to.
Yeah, but I thought 1 was okay.
Well, sure. I don't know your numbers, which is cool. So
yeah,
as long as this plane doesn't come to bite us.
No, I know.
Because I could have got rid of that one, right?
I got rid of one of them. So
I know.
I didn't want to leave 2 there.
But
I wanted to use the 2 on the brakes, but seeing that there, I was like, ooh, having 2 there.
But if you didn't move it, then we wouldn't have had to worry about that at number 2 spot yet. So yeah. Okay, so then I didn't say anything, but yes, Michael caught it. Penalty flag. Communication on Rob by throwing the plane down in disgust. Yeah.
I did know that I did something that he hated. But I mean,
no grunting, Rob. Mel knows your grunts. Exactly. Yeah, it's a nonverbal marriage communication that we use. Yeah, but that's okay. He can't do anything about it. My throat's a little dry. All right. Okay, so obviously we want to clear that plane. Yeah, that seems like the important thing. Remember, we got to re-roll still if we need. We have 3 coffees, so we can't do anything. If we put any die here, we're not getting any coffee. Flaps should probably start going down. I want to try to get some breaks going. Yeah, maybe a break or 2, but again, you can do these in any order. Yeah. But I like get a little worried when I don't put something in there when I have it, which maybe I should have. But yeah, we'll see. Hopefully we get lucky. All right, ready? I use coffee if needed. Okay. That was a good round, I feel. Move this down 1. Clearing off our dice. Rob's starting this round. Okay, so we obviously have a plane issue we need to take care of. I only need 1 more flap. Brakes. Brakes. You have flaps. I need 2 more flaps. Okay. Or sorry, landing gear. Landing gear. You have 1 more landing gear. I have 2 more flaps. We technically could do 2 more brakes. Yeah. Makes the end game easier the more 1 for sure I want to do, but 2 if we can. But right now, priority is the planes in the sky. Is the rush hour traffic over here happening. We're about to hit. But again, this is higher numbers right now. So again, maybe speed first and seeing like, but then again, if you have higher numbers, that's what we use them for. Right. Like for me, I don't need higher numbers. Like if I have some, but 4s would be good. I shouldn't be saying that again. I'm busting the rules, but you know what I mean. Yep. Ready? And you're starting this one. Sure. All right. So again, this problem, we
I
didn't really
know.
deal with it. I tried to put this early so you saw that like I don't really have anything to deal with it. This is my best shot.
I almost used this when I rolled 3 5 or 2 5s and a 4. I was like, ooh.
Yeah. So reroll tokens.
I actually rolled 3 5s because I used
it might be important like to help with that problem. So we're gonna move this down. We now get a second reroll token. We take all these dice back.
Okay, so obviously
now our plane's off axis a little bit.
Yeah.
So definitely that wasn't our best round.
No, that was probably the worst.
Yeah.
Okay, so we obviously need to try. Well, I don't think we need to necessarily worry about recentering yet, but we want to obviously try to maybe either keep it where it is or.
But one thing I didn't understand is like you could have used coffee to keep it level. So like you just leave it.
I could have, but I'm nervous to use too many coffees, and then we don't have the dice to then get the coffees back when we need it in the final.
But again, reroll tokens are there, so like yeah.
Yeah.
Because again, just by the end of the game, this like last flap, for example, has to be done. But maybe I'm doing them too quick. I don't know. Like you have one more landing gear, but again, even in the final round, those can be put out. I think like you can leave it till the end, but obviously then you're kind of.
But I worry that in those final rounds, you need this coffee to make those numbers that we don't have, right?
All right, here we go. Pilot first.
Okay.
Mark C says, "Careful, my Kickstarter is on that plane."
Oh.
I had to read that one out loud.
Okay, that was good.
So see the way the reroll happens? Like she can just take the reroll at any point without saying anything. Like I have no say in it, or I could take it at any point. So like it's that decision point of like when in the turn to use it, which turn to use it, how many dice should you have left? Will your opponent even take advantage of it? They have no idea why you're doing it. And it's gone now. And like I didn't even use it to reroll. I felt my dice were like perfect, but she obviously rerolled and it helped it line up great. So yeah. Great use of it, even though we didn't all take advantage of it.
Yeah, because I had 2 6s and a 1. Oh. And I was like, I don't want to use these.
Cool.
I could have used one of the 6s here, but I thought other things needed to happen.
All right.
All right.
And so, you see the cleverness here? You see why it's like catchy, why it caught on, why everyone's like, oh my God, let's play again. Because it's like pretty quick. It's very clever. And like, again, this is just a tutorial scenario. Lots more can be added to the game with different scenarios and things. All right.
So this is going to be your turn.
Co-pilots first. We have 1 reroll token left. We're like literally 1,000 feet above the runway, and we're like a little bit away from the airport.
Landing gear is deployed, ready to go. Cool. Hopefully we'll get some more brakes going.
So before winning, like so the plane needs to stay level. We need 1 more flap open.
And that's it.
And then our speed has to be slower when we're on the runway, when we finally get both these to line up, assuming we don't overshoot and accidentally put down a 12 and fly past the airport.
Oh yeah, that could be a problem.
Or smash into this plane and don't get rid of it. There's many things that can go wrong still. So yeah, we have a couple coffees there just in case. So yeah.
Okay, and you're
Done.
That was a good one. Okay.
Matthew, thank you for the super chat.
Thank you.
I met a dude in the airport who is from San Antonio, and he's going to teach me Warhammer this Friday. I'm stoked. Beer drinkers think alike.
Awesome. That's awesome.
That's cool.
That's so cool to just meet someone on a plane that is going to teach you a game. That's very
I thought
cool.
there was going to be some joke about airports and flying planes and all this, but at least it's relating to the stream. I like how it's tied in there.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Awesome.
We appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you.
How did that come up in a conversation? That's cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
Now, I assume you mean in the airport, like from Gen Con probably, right? Because I know they set up game tables there and theme it all for Gen Con, and people on the way home are like gaming in the airport and stuff. So I'm assuming it was there, but if it was just a random airport, then that's mind blowing. That's cool. That's awesome. All right. So we're gonna move this down one and get our dice back. So we are officially. Our location is the airport. There's no airplanes in our way. We are now landing on the runway. So this is now the situation for the final round. So this is the last round.
I'm starting.
Pilot will go first. Everything works the same except the speed when it gets added together. If it's not less than the current brake value, it means you didn't stop in time and we overshot the runway or just didn't stop on the runway and then we lose. In the water we go.
Yep.
Oop.
Just want to show those at home while we're working with.
Oh my God.
Not around for that.
Oh, sorry. I can reroll also.
Oh, yes. Before doing.
Think I'm good. Make the sound.
Oh.
That's better. So we're done. I don't know if you have to place all your dice, but it does say in the rule book if you place any dice on like flaps or whatever and the green light's already on, it just doesn't do anything. So I don't know if they say that, so there's a place to put your die. I don't think there's a fail condition if you can't place all your dice. I'm not sure how that all works. But anyways, we got to place our dice. But yeah, there's a situation. I've never seen all the coffee spots get full like that. Or I'm assuming if you call air traffic control, it doesn't do anything either.
Right, yeah.
So I don't know if that's a thing or not. I don't remember that in the rules, but anyways, we placed it. So because our speed is less than our brakes and we made it to the end of the round and the plane is level, all of our flaps are open, all of our landing gear is open. We
There's
safely
no planes, yeah,
no planes. We didn't run into any planes. We safely landed.
And we have a lot of coffee left for the passengers, I guess.
Tons of coffee.
But yes, I definitely needed that reroll token when I rolled 4 5s.
Yeah, I was like,
and
oh my God. Like last round, you're reaching for rerolls. Like, what is happening here? Like, we only need like certain dice. I was like, I put a 2 there to show you, like, don't worry. Like, you can place, like, we just need to be under 6. I put a 2, so you need a 4 or less. But then you showed all 5s. Why didn't you just spend a coffee token to reduce one of them instead of wasting the reroll?
Because, so there was only 1 coffee at the time. I put the 1. Or maybe there was
with
none.
The final round, there's a lot like easy ways to make coffee, kind of.
Yeah, but I was like, I knew I had 5. I was also nervous about this. I didn't know what we're gonna place here, and I was like, if you place a low number here, I wouldn't have enough coffee. Yeah. So I thought if I re-rolled, at least hopefully I would have a more spread out variety of numbers that then I can use the coffee to make even, which I did need to use coffee to make that a 4 anyways. But
interesting. And now you have the jitters.
Yeah.
Jackal saying, please enjoy your stay in Quebec. Yes, we landed at Montreal Trudeau Airport.
Yeah.
Brian says, thank you for flying Rob Mel Air. Unfortunately, your luggage is in Miami.
Oh.
Womp womp.
We'll notify you when it.
Yeah, I'm sure there's going to be a lost luggage expansion.
Send to you.
But that's the base scenario you're supposed to learn. So we officially did it. So that's the base rule book. That's the general gist of the game. But that's only a little of it, really. Because now we're just going to show you. We're not going to play this, but we'll just show you. Do not open before successfully landing Montreal. So if you don't want to know what's in here, go away now. And I'll leave it for you to discover on your own. But anyways, I'm going to show some of this now just to show you that there's more to this game, which has me excited. So if you're interested in this, hit the like button on your way out. If you want to see more of Sky Team. And yeah, I'll show you kind of what's in the box. So the way they did it, it's kind of very clever for new players coming into the game. So you learn this, you play it over until you figure it out and understand it. And once you win and land your plane correctly in Montreal, you then open it up. So all the components were like in this little well here and whatever. But behind here is your promo you got at Gen Con if you killed people to get the game in limited quantities. So we have LGA LaGuardia Airport. And this was like a little promo they hand out probably at conventions or whatever. So this one we have is extra. So this didn't come with inside the game, just FYI. Just want to put that out there. But in here is a bunch of modules and things. And it's like I literally haven't touched this. It's all hasn't been taken out or anything. I just looked at it quickly, like lift the lid. But there is more modules, okay? And I'm going to show you some of them, kind of the best way I can explain them. I read a bit of this rule book before the stream started. But here's the little dual-sided stickers. So obviously we're gonna have to make some kind of dual layer cardboard thing or something. Those are little stickers they give you. So in here, there are, so that's just the intro scenario. Okay, again, there's like a front and a back to these things. I think this one's the same because it's just your tutorial one. They don't want to confuse you when you're learning the game. But there is I'm assuming you use the back of this for hard mode because red and black are harder. Green and yellow scenarios are easier. And it tells you that here, there's 21 scenarios. There's green, which is routine landing, yellow, which is exceptional conditions, red is elite pilots only, and black is heroic landing. Success will put you in the history books.
Oh.
Okay. And here's the different modules they have. So based on the scenario you pick, which are here, there is some green ones, yellow ones there. So look at how many there are. There's quite a few. And then some red and black on the back. And based on it, it will tell you specific modules you must use. And there is some choice here because based on the module you pick, you might get to have certain special abilities. So there's little special ability cards. And you can, when a scenario tells you to take 1 or 2, you can look at them all and pick. And the decision point there is to try to pick the one that you think will be best for the scenario and work together. Work together to pick the right one. So those are special ability cards. So they give you little abilities you can use. Okay, I haven't even read them. I don't know. I don't want to know. We'll figure that out later. But there's one module. Okay, that's special abilities down there. And they have rules for all of it in here. Then there's the approach track effect. So there's a traffic die. So on certain approach tracks here, based on the situation, there are these. These will tell you when you reach this position, you have to roll a die. And it will make a certain amount of airplanes appear. So we have to fill this one. You only do it where the black one is. I think you still put out the starting airplanes based on these symbols. But as you go there, you'll roll. And this one says roll the die 3 times.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so I don't understand this one. So you literally have to like not move at all and work on clearing planes as quick as you can.
Yeah, it's a busy airport, I guess.
So you just roll the die and based on that, you put that many planes there. So that's kind of scary.
I didn't know they have that many.
I know, it's scary. Like there are extra, we weren't using them all.
Oh,
but
okay.
Yeah.
It looks like, yeah, it looks like you don't place a lot normally, but.
Yeah. Okay, so that's one thing. Then there's also turns. So to simulate, going past clouds or mountains, there might be a turn requirement where you have to line up your axis to turn around a mountain. So if you are pointing in one of these 2 positions, you will actually be able to advance forward. Also, sorry, when you move 2 spaces with the black die, you ignore one that you move past. So you kind of want to fly past them, I think, before the planes show up.
That makes sense.
I think that's how that works. I could be wrong, but I think that was in the rules. I'll read them again before we actually play it, but just giving you a high-level overview here. So on this one, for example, you want to be either in the black or one over, so you want to kind of be like this to fly past this one to move up. If you are not, you will obviously crash into said mountain or clouds or whatever is going on here. So it adds a whole, like, this isn't so vanilla of like, just get it like leveled off by the end of the game. This one literally, like, you're constantly trying to keep it moving and fly around things, which is super clever. I like that one. But again, only certain scenarios use certain modules. There's kerosene, trying to manage your fuel. So you can place a die. There's an extra fuel track here. This little fuel track. Oh, this is a dual layer fuel track we got to build. Yeah, yeah.
Oh.
So I pop this out. There's spots to put little stickers. You know, you'll pop it out. Tells you what to throw away. You know, throw those out. Then we put a couple stickers in here. We slam it closed. Boom, you have a fuel track. That, see the yellow? It lines up to the side. And then you can place orange or blue dice here. If you place one, your kerosene marker, there's a little marker that your fuel goes down by that much of the die you put there. Lower dice is better, so you have enough gas to make it through the whole flight. If nobody puts a die there, it automatically goes down by 6 at the end of the round.
Wow.
So if it hits this red little bottom empty spot, you fail. So you have to manage your gas. That's a thing that in some scenarios you'll need to do. Okay. There is training an intern, which is literally a board that attaches to the bottom. There's little tokens, and you can place dice in to grab little intern badges. And if you don't fully empty those spots with the badges, those are actually numbered because you can place them in dice spots. You're basically training the intern, sending them on tasks. And if you don't fully train the intern by clearing all the little, key cards, you fail. So as you see here, you place a die, you grab a badge, you put it in a spot, clear, this one, you're telling him to call air traffic control. He clears away an airplane. So that's its own little module. And that's this one here. So you punch out all these little tokens, you put them in here, and they go from left to right. Oh, more reroll tokens.
Ooh.
Ooh. Okay. Another one that's cool is wind. Okay. This adds a side module, attaches to the right side of the board. That's this little module here. Okay. And you'll put this in, and there's sometimes where you'll have to not land right away. And certain airport situations, you'll have to kind of circle the airport. So you need to basically turn the plane to in the round, start turning. That will turn you here, I believe. And then this number gets added onto your speed. So you're kind of like trying to go into like a holding pattern sometimes. So you'll want to kind of like just circle the airport, but then you can kind of go straight, something like that. I could be wrong, explaining it wrong, but that's how I understand it. But we'll figure it out in a future playthrough if we play a scenario with the wind. But it does say you kind of like add it to your numbers there. So it kind of like the wind can be pushing you. Obviously, if you're flying with the wind,
yeah.
But if you want to go against the wind or whatever to slow down, makes sense. There is a real-time aspect, which I do not ever want to play, but there is an app for the phone that you can use to create a 60-second timer. So, when we're sitting there like slowly deciding on our dice, whether we should drink coffee or do this, some scenarios will have a real-time element where you 60 seconds, get your dice placed, and you don't place, too bad. And if you don't put them in the mandatory or whatever, you could fail. Excuse me. But yeah, so that's one. Another one is a kerosene leak. So I didn't, this one. I don't know how this one works. There's a kerosene leak to take care of. Adjust your speed to avoid catastrophe. I don't know, something that like blocks the kerosene thing. Talking way too much.
It looks like it's the difference between the speed, right? The kerosene loss is the same as the difference between your 2 engine dice plus 1. So it's something to do with your speed. We didn't read all these, so we don't know exactly how to play them, but we will if we're playing them. Then there's the ice breaks. You're landing on an icy runway. Deploy your special brakes to avoid losing control. That sounds fun. That sounds fun. It's funny, you get all these modules, but you don't get additional dice. You still have to do all these same things with the same amount of dice that you played this. That we played
but each scenario kind of adds like 1 or 2 modules, right?
Yeah.
And getting the special abilities probably help, and the intern kind of gives you extra stuff, I guess.
Yeah.
Too. But this will go actually. This is the ice brakes track.
Yes. So this actually covers the brakes.
I'll pop these out for now. So yeah, this actually goes on the board between these 2 yellow lines. And it creates like the ice brakes where like you're landing on like kind of icy runway. So there's extra work there to kind of put down your brakes for the ice conditions. So more focus is spent, more effort needs to be spent on the brakes.
Oh, and for this one, you both, like 2 die need to be put on top and bottom to move it.
So we're not and out of control.
That's cool. So that's the icy brakes. Oh, and then there's just the scenarios, which you've already shown.
Yeah.
So that's the last module.
So those are the modules. Again, $30 US game, man. You see there's like, you know, it's just like oh, sure, it's at Gen Con, $30. Sure, I'll buy it and try it out. But like 21 different scenarios. Obviously, some of the ones that are black, like, I don't know if I'll ever try those. That sounds crazy talk.
Yeah, like.
But for someone who wants to get together and play the game like every night, it's short, easy to set up. I'm sure even with the modules, it's not that bad. But it's very clever, very quick, very fun. Even if you fail, it's like quick reset, play again, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know. I'm very curious. It's definitely a clever little game. And it's like one I want to like show off to like even non-gamers, like just play the Montreal scenario, take it to like a family game night just to show people and like, you know, let them work together and figure it out. Just watch. So I think it's super entertaining to watch people like why they put a die here first and what are they non-verbally trying to communicate to you by putting this die here, and like, or making a coffee all of a sudden, like, why are you doing that? Like, do you just have all the most amazing dice, or are you like realizing we're going to be in trouble and we're going to need you to drink a whole bunch of that? You know what I mean? So yeah, very clever, very cool game. Lots of scenarios. But very neat. I just want to show that game. Like, I just want to show you guys. It's clever. It's cool. Like, there's an interesting twist here. We play like different dice placement games on the channel we've played in the past, but like, this is just neat. It's just neat. And yeah, I think a lot of people are going to like this game. I mean, the buzz was there at Gen Con. I remember just seeing it. I was like, oh, that's clever. I'll pick it up. But it's nothing I would lose sleep over if I couldn't have grabbed. But then it was like, oh man, I see the lineups every day. Maybe they're like, all right, I want to get it. I want it. I want to see what the fuss is about. But yeah.
Yeah, for me, after playing this Montreal one, it makes me excited to try some of these scenarios and add some of these fun elements into the game and see how it changes it up.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then also trying out different difficulties. I think that's interesting.
Yeah. It's just you pick a scenario. So like you could pick one scenario, you could find your few favorites and just keep playing them over and over again until you beat them, you know, especially the harder ones. And like really try to work it out. And like just learn.
Yep.
But yeah, definitely be some funny stories. And again, we have this little, I don't know if this one will be available on our website or something when you order it, probably. But yeah, we also have an extra one here. I don't know, it's a yellow, so it's like not the hardest.
Oh, it's black on the other side. Make it uber hard.
So it's icy, and you can use 2 special abilities. It also uses the black die and the turning.
Huh.
Excuse me. Or you play on the black side. So this is super hard, historic level, where you also need to use kerosene. Only 1 special ability each, I guess. And then, or maybe, yeah, 1 each probably. And then the ice breaks. And then, like, more turning and the black dice. And this is shorter. So you're already starting, like, closer, right? I think.
Yeah, it looks...
Oh, no, it's the same.
Oh, that looks shorter to me, too.
Yeah, it did look shorter. Yeah, very clever. I don't know. Cool little game. Cool little game. It's neat.
Yep. Yeah, I enjoyed this game a lot.
Yeah. Again, we only played it twice. So we're not pros or anything. But, like, I see the potential here. And it's very neat. So again, hit that like button. You want to see more? We'll play another stream in the future. We'll try out like a module or 2 maybe. If there's interest for this game on the channel. If not, I'm sure many other channels will play this game because in that like that weight where like, you know, majority of content creators can grab it, learn it, make a video of it really quickly. So it doesn't, you know, Like,
yeah, and it's quick.
Like, again, last night we literally cracked the rule book after dinner, read it, played it, and still like watched a TV after, you know what I mean? And like chilled. It wasn't like one of those games like some of the games we play on the channel where we're like, read the rule book one night, you know, watch a rules video, read on BGG, make sure we understand it. The next night, play half of a playthrough.
Yeah.
Then go back to the rule book, read again the next night.
Yeah.
Then finish the playthrough, and then schedule a stream. You know, where it's like more effort because the games are more complex or like, you know, a lot more nutty and crazy or bad translations, bad rule books and stuff. But yeah, it's refreshing to play a game where it's like we could learn it, play it in the evening, has a nice tutorial, well done rule book, and I just want to play more scenarios. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah, same. I agree.
Yeah, very cool game. Any thoughts? I know you guys didn't play it unless you have your own copy, but any thoughts from you guys watching? Like, I'm curious out of our community and stuff. What do you guys think of it? Like, I know it's probably not everyone's cup of tea, but I know the solo gamers, I know it's like you're looking at this, you're like, why is he wasting my time? But again, we like to play a little bit of everything on the channel. But yeah, definitely neat. Don't forget to put some dice on that like button. Thanks, Jacko. Needs a night gaunts module doing sanity damage and stealing passengers. Oh no, Dan, no. No. But yes, maybe. I can see some fan-made content for this for sure. That'd be funny.
Yeah.
And it's probably right for expansions too. You can only imagine, right? If the game does well, to make like a second one that has like, you know, maybe it's more complex or different stuff going on. Like adds the stewardesses or stewardess.
Well, people in the chat are also saying they'd love to see more of it. So that's a good sign.
Perfect,
so
perfect.
Yeah, hit that like button. Let us know.
It's definitely fun. Why are you making coffee? Maybe try the super hard ones with open communication to get used to them. Then try the regular way. That could be a way, yeah.
Yeah, but I think
I would work my way up to them for sure.
Yeah, same. And I think I would try it without the communication first just to see how we totally fail. And then
But again, how I look at this, too much streaming today.
Sorry.
It's okay. I thought I was better, but man, I'm getting the tickles and the mucus. It's very attractive. But what again, $30 US. If I like get, you know, a couple hours out of this, it's like, and then we take it to a family function. They played a bit, like even if you only played like a third of the scenarios a few times, like tried it all the different modules out, it's like, I don't know, like the value's there.
Yeah, I agree.
And again, you could always pass it on after that too. But yeah, very cool. But yeah, I don't know. That's all I got to say. It's like,
I think we've expressed that we enjoy the game. It's fun.
Yeah. Definitely cool. It's like unexpected how much I liked it. Like I remember seeing it. I was like, oh Mel, check out this game. I'm gonna put this on my list on Gen Con because I think it's like something out of all the games there. It's like I never hear about 2-player only co-op games, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, you've got me interested. I'll check it out and try it. I don't know if I'll stream it. I don't know if it's like the right game for me or the channel or anything, but when I played it, I was like, yeah, so that's cool.
And we know it's not gonna be for everybody for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Expansions or rethemes like Star Wars X-Wing. Oh man. Oh no. You just made them mad money. They start making a Star Wars version. Is Asmodee? Is this an Asmodee company? No, it's Hatchet, right? Hatchet, yeah. Sorry.
Oh, that one okay.
Yeah, I maybe hit the mute again. Sorry if I coughed into your guys' ears. I'm so sorry. Velcro, I don't know. We haven't tried it yet.
Yeah, we haven't played that one yet.
Yeah, Cosmoctopus, we haven't tried it yet. Again, I like to try games before I decide whether they're on the channel in some situations. Sometimes I just see a game and I'm like, oh, I want it. I want to play it. I want to stream it with everybody. I think this would be awesome to play together. This would be great. Or like Mel would love this or Kyle would love this. You know, I want to play this in multiplayer, or I could take this to a family function. And then I play it and it's like, oh man, I definitely want to stream this and show everybody. That's like Rob's Game Tell. I'm just excited. I'm bringing games to game night here to show you guys. So I usually want to play a game first if I'm unsure about it. But the game does look cute and it's got engine building, so I'm interested, of course, like I already mentioned, in our Gen Con haul and our preview list and stuff. But I gotta play it first again. Like we bought the game with our money. no publisher gave it to me. Even if they did, like, I can try it first, right? Like, I don't have to make content unless I've agreed to it. But yeah, so that one, we just bought it. I want to try it out and we'll see. But if it's clever, well, I mean, I'll stream it. But not every game I buy is like meant for streaming because I'm never sure. Jacko says, my 11-year-old asked me earlier if we could play the plane landing game. So for me, it's a winner.
That's awesome.
100%.
That's
100%.
so awesome.
Yeah. If a game gets gamers' butts in seats and gets you playing games more often or growing the hobby and getting other players playing with you, that's a win. Especially if it's your child who's going to stop wanting to play with you as much, maybe.
Yeah, and especially if they're asking you, like, that's an even better feeling, right? When they come to you and say, like, can we play this?
Yeah, that's big.
Right?
Yeah, that's when you know it's a winner. It's a great feeling when you're like, yes.
Yeah, because we pulled this out last night, and our daughter looked at me and was like, do I have to play that?
Yeah, like, come on. Like, you show her this, it's like, no.
I'm like, no, it's just for me and Daddy only. And
no.
She's like, oh, okay.
This is looks a little more complicated, looks a little boring, like what is happening here, but very clever. Definitely not as complicated as it looks, that's for sure.
No. That's awesome.
Anyways, that's it. This is a short one. Obviously, I streamed like 4 something hours earlier today. I keep getting this throat tickle. I need to like chill, so but it should be a short one because this game's not that long.
Yeah.
So hopefully you understand what's going on here. We'll play more with a module in a future stream. So if you don't want to miss that stream, subscribe, turn on notifications. When the stream's scheduled, you'll find it in the playlist down below in the video description, or if it's already happened and you're watching this much later, you can find our future videos of this series down in that playlist in the video description, or just, again, turn on notifications. You'll get notified when we post videos or stream, and you can decide whether you click the notification and join us on the stream or not. Not every game is for everyone, we know. But yeah, we'll play this in the future. We'll learn some more, maybe soon. I don't know. I mean, it's not that long, so like we could just jam a session in here and there. We'll see. But again, we got other stuff to play. We're playing Witcher: The Old World tomorrow with Kyle. We're going to play with the full Monster Trail expansion. So we're going to add in the more complex monster thing or whatever, now that Kyle's learned the game. So join us for some 3-player Witcher tomorrow evening. And then Frosthaven scheduled for the weekend. We're continuing our Frosthaven campaign. And other than that, we'll see what we can learn and get through. And maybe it's just more of this. Maybe I'll be playing more 20 Strong later this week. We'll see, whatever we can fit in. But anyways, thank you for watching. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for supporting the channel. Thanks to everyone donating, supporting us on a monthly basis. Much appreciated. If you'd like to support the channel, links are down in the video description. Other than that, anything else, Mel?
No, that's it. Thank you so much.
All right. Enjoy the rest of your night, and we'll see you in the next stream. Bye-bye.